So this is a pretty simple kind of multi-bar direction question here. All right, so we can see we got bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, and bar 4. All right, so basically this person is looking for, the bar direction to be flipping up and down, at least 4 times or more. So I'm assuming this is going to be like on a Renko chart here. And, probably looking for these moments of consolidation like this, right? As probably just as a heads up that there's consolidation, and be prepared for a breakout in one direction or the other. Let's see. Oh yeah, nope, there's another one. Since we're only looking for 4 of these switchbacks, so that would be another situation like that right there. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, right? We can see I've already got BloodHound on my chart, so I'm gonna use the button at the top here to open up the BloodHound interface. There we go. All right, I'm going to switch over to the Logic tab here. And the first thing we need to do is create a new Logic template here. So you can see the Logic template, right? There's nothing created yet. So we can't select anything here for the Logic name. Let me hit New. And now we have a Logic template to work with. But before I get ahead of myself, we should create a file name to save this to. So I'm going to hit the change button here. So let's see here. So this first one here is just going to be 4 bar directions. All right. So what we're going to need are, well, let's see. There's a couple ways we could do this. I'm going to go with a bunch of bar directions here. So let's just call this bar 1 direction, something like that. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a couple of ways I could do this, but I think the simplest way to visualize this is to have 4 of these bar direction solvers here. But I could just do it with 1 bar direction and then use a bunch of look back nodes and long short modifiers as well. So I will need some long short modifiers here. I guess I just wanted to illustrate that quite often, there's a couple of ways that you can tackle, creating some logic. Yeah, so let me grab another one of these bar directions. Call this number 2. There we go. And we'll grab our 3rd one, number 3. All right, and grab our 4th one and call it number 4. Okay. All right, so our bar number 1, this is going to be the last closed bars direction. So bar number 1 is going to be the most recent bar to have closed. So I guess we would think of it as this bar, right? So that bar right there. And so bar number 2 is going to be our previous bar's direction. So if we go here, click on bar number 2, and there, let's connect this up here. And so what we're going to do is to look back 1 bar, right? So we want to look back 1 bar. And so to look back 1 bar, we have this, start bars ago. Right, so we're going to put 1 in there. And so when we look at this, we really want our chart to be looking like this. All right, so we want to make sure, that bar number 1 is on the right edge of the chart, right? Thinking of this, this being the bar that just closed, right? So if we connect up our bar direction here for bar number 1, right, we're getting a long output on this bar, right? We're getting a long output here. And then, of course, when we connect up bar number 2, right? Now we're getting a short output on the current bar, right? So remember, think of this as the current bar here. So let's use a little square, right? So the square is our current bar. Yeah, it's instead of red, I don't want this to look like it's a red for down. Let's just color it blue. There we go. Color it blue, just to remind us, right? This is the current bar here, but this is an up bar, right? But it's colored, but we have a short signal on this. Well, that's because flip this arrow around, so I'm not have to dealing with the scaling like that. There. So remember, this solver here, I have start bar as it goes set to 1, which basically means look back 1 bar, right? Look back 1 bar. So this is a down bar, right? And the signal or the output from this down bar is shifted forward onto the current bar, right? It's shifted forward 1 bar. So we've taken this down bar and we shifted it forward 1 bar, right? So that's basically what the start bar as it goes done. However, right, our current bar is an up bar. So on our current bar, we want a long output ultimately, right? Because this is an up bar, so we're going to want a long output. So we need to take this down bar and reverse it to give us a long output, right? Because if you look at this, right, bar 1 is going to be up, then the next bar is going to be down, next bar is up, right? But ultimately, we need a signal in one direction, right? We can't have up signals and down signals at the same time. So we're gonna create this so that whatever the direction of the current bar is, that's the signal direction we're going to get. So I need to take this down bar's short signal and reverse it to a long signal. And that is what these long short modifiers are going to do for us. Right? So as mentioned earlier, I said I was going to need a couple of these long short modifiers. And it's going to be just for this. So if I take a look at this, right, and we're going to use the swap mode here. So what I'm going to do is just rename that to swap, right? So I know exactly what this long short modifier is doing for me, right? I'm using the swap mode, right? So these long short modifiers have a bunch of different functionalities in here. So now if we look at the chart, right, basically this down bar, which its signal is shifted forward onto the current bar, well, now we have a long signal here, right? So if I grab an AND node, and let's zoom out a little bit. So again, we've got to focus on the current bar, right? We have a long signal because this is an up bar, and because of the long short modifier, we also have a long signal here. From the down bar produced a long signal. So if I connect these together, like so, right, we have a long signal here. And the same thing here, right? We have a down bar plus an up bar gave us a long signal. But then also this up bar plus this down bar produced a short signal, right? So you got to remember, these are bar directions. And so as long as we get this, bar direction reversing, we're going to start getting some signals. Right? So we're basically just going to repeat this process, for all 4 bar directions. All right. So our third bar here, right? So that's going to be the next previous bar's direction, which will be an up bar, right? So that'll be this bar here, right? So again, our current bar, this is bar 1, bar 2, bar 3. Right? So this is an up bar, but it's 3 bars ago. So we need start bars ago. Actually, it was 2 bars ago, sorry. So we're going to set start bars ago to 2. And, So I guess to kind of really understand what's going on here, let's look at these 3 up bars, right? So this was the last up bar here, but we can see the long signal from this bar, right? So the up signal, the long up signal from this bar has been pushed over 3 bars, right? So that's why we have a long signal on these 2 down bars, right? So we took this up bar signal and shifted. So we shifted everything forward by 2 bars, right? So back here, we've basically taken this up bar and shifted it forward 2 bars onto the current bar. So let's connect up our AND node again. So if I take this bar direction and connect it in, there we go. So we still, if we look forward here, right? So this, our current bar, we still have a long signal here. So now if we look back, right, our signals are starting to disappear back here because now that we have 3 bar directions all connected up, we need at least 3 reversal bars now, right? So we got this bar number 2, and then bar number 3, right? So we need at least 2 reversal bars, and then we start getting some signals here. And so we have 1 more left. So this is going to be start bars ago of 3, and we're going to need another long short modifier. So let's grab another one of these. Connect this in. Again, let's rename this here to swap, like so. And if we take a look at this, let's see here. All right, start bars go. Let's see. Now this is a little confusing to look at, but let's see here. Actually, start bars go 3. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah. What's throwing me here is I'm looking at the long short modifier. You know, so I'm looking at these bars. Okay, how come these are down bars? You know, because these are all up bars. Why aren't I seeing long signals here? So, yeah. So just be patient with yourself if you're not understanding things, because even the best of us sometimes get thrown off. You know, if I look at just the bar direction solver, this is what I was expecting to see here, right? So we have the 3 up bars, and then we can see this up bar here. It was shifted forward 3 bars because of our start bars ago, right? So again, we took this up bar signal and shifted it forward 3 bars here. So, or you can think of this up bar, and we shifted it forward 3 bars. So, yeah, and of course, I was looking at the reverse of that from the long short modifier, and it just kind of threw me off. So, even the best of us get confused once in a while. So just have patience with yourself. Yeah, so here we go. These 3 up bars have been swapped to down signals, and so here's the 3. So I mean, yeah, actually, this almost looks like there's no reversing going on, but here's a down bar with a long signal on it. And so, right, that's going to be this up bar shifted forward, right, shifted forward 3 bars onto this down bar. So, all right. So let's connect up our AND node and connect in this last one here. So, all right, so here we go. Now, yeah, so this here has more than 4, reversing bars here. So we actually have a bunch of signals here. But that's all the question wanted to know, was just how to find, at least 4 reversing bars. So pretty straightforward there. So, I've kind of had various questions like this in the past, and probably what's happening here is what people are looking for is once they see this consolidation, they just kind of wait for the next bar. Just wait for the next bar to kind of break out of this consolidation, and there you go. And that would be the signal idea. All right, so there you go. We're done with this first one here. All right, there we go. So 4 bars consolidating there, and there we go. Here's a couple more with a bunch of bars consolidating like that. Yeah, there we go. All right. So so if you wanted to add more to this, right? You basically have an existing structure here that you can just follow up on, and you can just keep expanding this. So if you wanted, to add 5 reversing bars, then we know that we could just grab another bar direction, drop it down here, and this would be our bar 5 direction. Looking at our previous solver, our previous bar direction solver, we can see the bar, start bars to go is set to 3. So this, our next solver, we would know that this would need to be set to 4, like that, and then we could connect this in to the AND node. And now we need to have 5 reversing bars, right? So this back here, it was right here. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4. So this 4 bar reversal, basically, that signal got eliminated, right? And then over here, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so now we have 5 reversing bars. So, So with this existing structure, you can just keep adding to it and to find longer and longer consolidation periods. So if we scroll back here, there we go. Here's where we were working earlier. And so now we're only seeing 2 bar direction signals here now, whereas before we saw 3. So if I disconnect our bar number 5, let's disconnect that. There we go. So now we see 3 signals there. So, all right. So let's see. That does it for this question.